Welcome to Kicks Minivans, the podcast for dads who love sneakers. I am your host, KG. Happy early Father's Day, a couple days early from us here at the Kicks Minivans family to you, however you're watching and listening, man. We are glad that you are here hanging out with us. We are celebrating dads today and every day, and celebrating husbands, celebrating the men in our lives. And man, so grateful for you hanging out with us for a little bit. In honor of Father's Day, I'm gonna show you the most dad shoe that I have. I don't know Nike Monarchs, none of them. This is my newest shoe. It's a little ordinary, but it's the Nike Pegasus. So this was my sneaker of the week a few weeks ago. I've been MIA the last couple weeks. I'm gonna explain that to y'all next week. What's been going on, what's been happening. But yeah, after the Nike Pegasus episode where that was the shoe of the week, man, I have two pairs of pegs that I had. The one, we went hiking in Ohio and it was raining for 3 days before we went, and them shoes are destroyed by the mud that was out there. Then the second pair of pegs I wore up to my in-laws house, and I meant to bring the original pair of Pegasus that got destroyed because we were building this playset that my in-laws bought for my kids. And it rained the night before, and so those shoes also now got destroyed by mud. So within 2 weeks of each other, two pairs of my Pegasus, my wear around runner shoes, workout shoes, comfy shoes to wear, got destroyed. So I dropped a little bit of coin and got two new pair of Nike Pegasus. I really like these ones though, man. I really like these. And you know, Nike Pegs, they're so comfortable, and we want to hook someone up. We want to help some of y'all get into some new Nike Pegasus. So here's what we're going to do. In honor of Father's Day, we're doing a little Nike gift card giveaway. We're going to give away $50 Nike gift card to one of you listeners. We're not announcing this on social media. We're not posting it nowhere like that. No email. I don't even have an email list. None of that. If you are listening, you have an opportunity right now to win a $50 Nike gift card. What you need to do, you need to screenshot, however you are watching or listening to this episode, whether it's on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Google, whatever. You need to screenshot you listening to this episode and post it on an Instagram or Facebook story and tag either at Kicks Minivans or at Kevin Giannotti. That's my name. I will put those in the show notes. If you are not following me, why not? Number one, you need to tag at Kicks Minivans, at Kevin Giannotti, one or the other, so that I see it. The first one to post a screenshot of you listening, watching this episode, and share it on a Facebook or Instagram story, the first one to do that wins a $50 Nike gift card. The first one that I see have that up wins a $50 Nike gift card. If you are not following me, can't tag me if you have a private account, you can email me at kicksandminivans@gmail.com and send me a screenshot of you posting a screenshot. And if your timestamp of that comes back sooner than someone else posted up, then you will win the gift card. So that's the challenge right there. First one to post that up will win $50 Nike gift card digitally sent to you. I'll connect with you and get you there. So yeah, appreciate all of you that are showing love and support to the podcast. I am grateful for y'all. Encouraged by the amount of people that have reached out to me over the last couple weeks, asking where the episodes have been. You know, we've been at it since we started going weekly episodes, and then fell off for a couple weeks. Next week, I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of an update, fill y'all in with that. This week, we're going to celebrate dads. We're going to just talk a little bit about fatherhood. But first, bringing on Mrs. Kicks for another draft. It has been a minute. This week, we are doing a draft of movies from the 1980s. Released between the year 1980 and 1989. Drafting 5 movies each. Let's go. Rock, paper, scissors for first.
Okay. Disclaimer, we were both born after 89.
I was born in 90. She was born in 92. So all of these movies came out before we were born. All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And I'm going with my absolute favorite, one of my favorite movies of all time, Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
Taking that one right off the bat, no question, no doubt about it.
Solid. All right. I'm going to go with Die Hard.
Oh, you didn't. You did not.
I did.
You've never even seen that
That's
movie.
a lie.
Have
We
you-
watched it together.
Did we watch it, just the first one?
Together.
So we got to watch the second one this Christmas.
And then I said I was good, never seeing it again. The nostalgia.
took that.
Empire Strikes Back was my second.
Ah. All right. And we've also clarified you cannot just take like a whole, you can't say
Series.
Star Wars and get episode 5 and 6, though they both came out in the 80s. That's fine. You can have Die Hard because I will take the 1989 Batman film.
Oh. I don't know if I've seen that one.
Oh, that's with the Jack Nicholson as the Joker.
I don't think I've seen that one.
That one, Gotham City is the best character in that movie. Like such a classic. Like has the Gotham feel for that. Like I grew up on that Batman, like the old Batman, which was like played by like 4 different dudes. But anyway, they were all great except for George Clooney. He was weird. But yeah, 1989 Batman. That's my second movie. You're up.
Okay. I'm going Back to the Future.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's so
4 childhood memories.
yeah. It has such a cult following too.
Yeah.
Like so many people love it. That's the thing I think about a lot of these 80s movies is that like so many of them have like a cult following. I have to take E.T.
Yeah.
That wasn't my personal favorite, but I just feel like it was one of a kind.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Yeah.
feel like it was so unique and original in that time. So my third pick is E.T. In that time, before my time, it was
Before my time. All my patients, when they have their little pulse ox thing wrapped around their finger with the red light, they'll always go, "Ooh, I'm E.T." Okay.
They were all probably born before 1990.
Yes, they were. I'm gonna go Terminator. I watched a lot of action movies as a child that maybe I shouldn't have. I had nightmares. No, that was Eraser, but still Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Yeah. Terminator's a good pick. That's a good pick. This is where it gets 2 picks left. What do I take? Because there's still so many good ones. Someone's going to get mad at us for not... So many people are going to get mad at us for leaving movies off this list. But there's so many
there's only
movies that
5.
came out. There's
We
only
can only
10
pick
movies
5.
getting drafted total
Right.
over the course of 10 years. I'm going to go...
Are you doing it for the people or you?
Because we are in Indiana and I have a deep love of basketball. Hoosiers.
I did not know that came out in the 80s.
It was right in the middle of the 80s, 85 or 86. So I'm taking Hoosiers. Right in the middle of... And we live in Indiana.
Yeah.
So...
Give the people what they want.
Give the people of Indiana what they want. And the basketball fans everywhere.
All right. I'm going to go Ghostbusters.
Nice. I wasn't going to draft that.
No.
But yeah, I don't... It wasn't my favorite. Like,
I love
I think I've seen it once or twice. But
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't... That's like so many of these. I feel like most people love them. For us 90s kids, you know, we're still young compared to them. But 90?
Don't lose your fine.
90?
These people love you.
Born in 90 versus born in 1989 just sounds very different.
Yeah.
But then you have like all the Gen Zers that were born in like, you're born in the 1900s? Like, what?
Excuse me.
Okay. Okay. All right. Oof. Last pick. This is so... I have like 5 more movies on my list that I want to draft here. My favorite out of the ones I would draft would be Trading Places.
I never saw that.
It's such a good one.
I remember the name of it.
I'm taking that. I'm taking
Trading
Trading Places.
Places?
I'm taking Trading Places. Yeah. There's other ones that I feel like have a bigger following,
Yeah.
but I loved Trading Places. It was a great movie.
Yeah. All right. For the simple core memory of taping what's a piece of paper size?
You realize you're not whispering away from the camera. You're whispering into the mic.
I know. What's a normal piece of paper size?
8.5 by 11.
Okay. For the core memory I forgot. Okay. For the simple core memory of taping an 8.5 by 11 size Tom Cruise face above my sister's bunk bed, I'm going to go with Top Gun. Never saw it fully myself, but...
Not the new one. I haven't seen the new one yet, but oh, that's a good one. Yes, I already know some of y'all gonna be mad at me for not picking this movie or that movie or having not seen some movie, whatever, man. It's all cool. But hey, if you're listening to this, you're probably a dad. You might be a mom. You might be preparing to be a dad. You might just, I don't know. Most of the people listening to this are fathers. And I want to take a second. Our target audience and most of our listeners specifically are millennial dads and husbands. That is our primary audience that listens to this. With a name like Kicks and Minivans, that kind of makes sense. We talk about sneakers, we talk about that. But that's our primary audience. That's who we kind of talk to. I am a millennial dad myself. I am right in the middle of the millennial generation. I was born in 1990. My wife's born in 1992. We are like right in the middle of the millennial generation. Usually they're born between 1980 and like 1996 to 98. Depends on, who's saying when the generations begin and end. But there is like research that has come out about millennial dads specifically that I want to celebrate. And some of y'all may have seen some of these numbers floating around, but the Pew Research Center found that millennial dads have tripled the amount of time dedicated to being with their kids compared to dads from 1965, which, that was like 60 years ago. But they also found that 57% of millennial dads consider being a parent as part of their identity, which is only 1% less than mothers at 58%. Now, I'm shocked that both of those numbers are so low. However, I think it's amazing that men and women are at the same threshold for how they view parenthood, fatherhood, and motherhood as a part of their identity. We're like exactly the same, within 1 percentage point of each other. And I don't know that would have been true of past generations. 66% of dads who had a baby between 2016 and 2020 took leave, compared to just 14% before 1980. So when their baby's born, 2 out of every 3 dads was taking parental leave, whatever time granted by work. Some of us, for me, it was about a week and a half. I have a buddy that it was like 3 months for him, 3 months paid leave. I'm like, yo, that's a hookup right there. But back in the day, apparently it was seen as a badge of honor to not take parental leave, to just go right back in the workforce the next day. Dads are not, studies are showing that millennial dads are the first generation where not taking a parental leave is no longer a badge of honor. That millennials are the first generation of dads where if you don't take a parental leave to be at home with your wife and your son or daughter, people aren't viewing that as something to be applauded, to skip parental leave. Like they're kind of looking at you weird now. Like, why wouldn't you want to be there to be with your baby, to be with your wife? And on that note too, 43% of fathers in 1982 said they had never changed a diaper. Almost half of fathers in 1982 said that they had never changed a diaper before. Today, only 3% of dads say that. Only 3% of dads today will say that they have never changed a diaper. I'm a stay-at-home dad. I have changed thousands of diapers over the last 4.5 years. Speaking of stay-at-home dads, there are 231,000 stay-at-home dads. I think I saw it was about 18% of stay-at-home parents are now dads. Like 18% of stay-at-home parents are stay-at-home dads. 82% are stay-at-home moms. In my area where I live, I still don't feel that ratio. I've met and connected with some stay-at-home dads, which is amazing. But I still, like, when I go to the playground, I am like one of the only, if not the only man there, the only dad. And it's like all moms around. I went to the playground one time and I think I counted it was like in the high teens of the amount of moms that were there. And I was the only dad there. There was like 18 moms and I was the only dad. And it's like, that's how I feel in my area most of the time when I go to the playground with my kids. But look, what you get from that research is millennials are viewing fatherhood as a part of their identity and as something that they need to be intentional about, and they are being intentional about being there and spending that time with their kids and connecting with their kids. And the effects of an involved, engaged father are astronomical versus the effects of if the father is not present and active and engaged in the life of their kid. And studies are showing that the quality of your time with your kids is more important than the quantity of your time. And so as a stay-at-home dad, like, I still have a lot of things on my plate. Like, I try to keep up with all the housework. I try to keep up with all the cooking, cleaning, laundry, all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to take care of my kids. I'm trying to take care of my fitness. I'm trying to run this podcast. I'm running a meal prep business. Like, I'm still doing a lot of things, juggling a lot of plates as a stay-at-home dad, and still trying to get my Xbox time in. But I'm juggling a lot of plates. And so, no, when I'm home all day, I'm not spending 10 hours a day building Legos with my kids. But I will make sure that during the day, I am spending extremely intentional time with my kids. That I'm not going to be just playing with them for 8, 10, 12 hours straight, because I got other stuff to do, just frankly. And y'all need to learn to play by yourselves a little bit. Like, y'all need to learn independent. My kids are not great at independent play, and maybe it's because I've just been home all the time with them. But over the last several months, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months or something, like, I've been trying to get them to work on their individual independent play a little bit, or playing together, because I'm like, yo, I got stuff to do. Like, let's just keep it real. I'm not going to be sitting there playing Hot Wheels for 12 hours straight. However, I make sure each and every day, and it's easy for me to do because I am home with them, but I make sure each and every day that I spend extremely intentional quality time with each of my boys, together and individual. And again, I know that it's easier for me to do that because I am a stay-at-home dad. I'm home with them all the time. However, regardless of your situation, can you once a week, once a month even, carve out some time for each of your kids? And if you got like 8 kids, this is going to be really challenging for you. But can you carve out time to be intentional, to spend intentional quality time with your kids, even if you can't do the quantity that you would like? And this is something I talk to my wife too. I'm like, because she will feel bad, like at the end of the day, on her day off, she will have spent the entire day with the kids doing whatever they want. And then she'll like feel bad that she didn't do enough. And babe, if you're listening, I'm sorry, but you know it's true. But I have to remind her and say, hon, like, in their eyes, they just had the best day in the world with mom. Even if it didn't go exactly the way you thought it would, like, they just had the best day in the world with their mom because she would spend intentional quality time with them. And the studies are showing that the quality of time you spend with your kids is more important than the quantity of time. And when dads are involved, just the research shows how differently it impacts the kids. Research shows that when fathers are involved, their children are twice as likely to go to college, 80% less likely to spend time in jail, and 85% of youth in jail have an absent father. And they are also 75% less likely to experience a teen pregnancy. When dad isn't there, it's a completely different picture. Children in father absent homes account for 71% of all high school dropouts, 90% of homeless and runaway children, and 63% of youth suicides. Furthermore, on father engagement, father involvement using authoritative parenting, which is loving and with clear boundaries and expectations, leads to better emotional, academic, social, and behavioral outcomes for children. High levels of father engagement are correlated with higher levels of sociability, confidence, and self-control in children. Children with involved fathers are less likely to act out in school or engage in risky behaviors in adolescence. Children with actively involved fathers are 43% more likely to earn A's in school and 33% less likely to repeat a grade than those without engaged dads. And I could sit here and read stats for an hour about the engagement of dads. and the value that it plays in the life of your kids. And so if you're listening to this and you're a dad, whether you're a single dad, whether you're a checked out dad, whether you're a tired dad, an exhausted dad, a dad that feels like he is doing everything under the sun and still not doing enough, who you are matters. What you do matters. Who you do it for matters. And so here at Kicks Minivans, we want to help you. We want to be your cheerleaders. We want to be your support. We want to help you win in marriage and in parenting. And just being there and showing up, even though it might not feel like it, oftentimes that is enough. And sometimes that's the first step. And that might be the hardest step, is just showing up, because you're like, hey, if I show up, I don't really know what to do. But you will figure it out. Life is a series of figuring things out. I'm trying to figure out a bunch of stuff right now. Life is just a series of figuring things out. And you adapt and you overcome, and then you adapt and you overcome, and you adapt and you overcome. And every time we meet a new trial, we adapt. That's what we do. That's what men do. Like, it's amazing to me. Like, so many men, if they come up against something that they don't know how to handle it, what do they say? I'll figure it out. And we figure it out. Like, yo, I will always tell my wife, she'll be like, well, what are you going to do about this? Like, I don't know, but I'll figure it out. And I'm a figure it out. As surely as much as I love her, like, I will figure it out. That's what we do as men. Like, we just figure things out. And you figure this fatherhood thing out as you go. No one has it all figured out. They think they have it figured out before baby's born, and then they're holding baby and they're like, oh, this is different. And then baby grows into a toddler, and baby starts throwing tantrums, and toddler starts doing this and that. Like, and then they're teenagers. Like, I don't even know what that's going to be like. Right now, I'm trying to deal with the toddler stuff. But, like, you figure it out. You adapt, you overcome. But continuing to show up and be present and having to figure it out. Man, like, you're winning half the battle already just by showing up, just by being there, because so many dads aren't even doing that. And so, if you're a dad, I applaud you. I encourage you. I support you. Man, I'm proud of you. Keep going. Keep showing up. Spend that quality time with your kids. Spend as much time as you can with them, but make sure the time you spend with them counts. Be intentional. Leave your phone in the other room. Get down on their level. Spend that time with them. You're doing great. Keep on showing up each and every day, each and every week. It matters. It matters to your kids. It matters to your wife. And it matters for your soul. We love you. Thank you guys for your encouragement and support. Thanks for tuning in, hanging out with us. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there, to all the dads to be. Hey, we love y'all. Have a great one. Until next time, take care of yourself, take care of your family. This is Kicks and Minivans.